Beyond the Party, episode 2. Happy to be here. We're here with guest DJ N9NE. Really happy to have you on, 9.
Happy to be here.
How you doing? How was your weekend?
Good. Where was I at? Friday. I was at Wicked Wolf.
No,
Where was I?
Saturday Wicked.
Thanks. Wait, where was I? I was home, so it's like a different change of pace for me lately. But
Friday was the Phillies game.
oh my gosh, yeah. Thanks. She knows my whole schedule. Yeah,
well, I know because I seen you Saturday,
True.
and Friday I was deceased.
I did. I did the Phillies opening day, Friday, and then I went up to Porta in Asbury Park. That was a lot of fun. I haven't been up there in a while. And then where was I Saturday? Oh my god. Oh, I was at Wicked Wolf. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
that's it.
I'm the
I
same
totally
way.
forget.
People ask me, they're like, "Where you at this week?" I'm like, "Let me check."
No, listen,
Like-
it's just totally insane because I'm just like almost anywhere and everywhere now. It's actually
no,
it's,
I
it's
know.
wild.
Yeah.
All the days end in Y.
Oh my goodness, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Are you doing like all the scheduling for the Phillies too? Like you do
Yeah.
that yourself?
Yeah, it's just me doing it because I mean, since I can't do all the Phillies games, the other guys I have to like just find out everyone's availability and
Right,
just plug
yeah.
everyone in. So yeah.
How'd that start? Like you going with the Phillies?
They sent me an email, and I thought it was like I was always telling everybody I thought it was like just Phillies.com like promoting like the T-shirts or like some kind of crazy sale.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, they're looking for a resident DJ or like an official DJ. I was like, holy shit, let me read this. And I went into the ballpark and had a meeting with them, and they were just like, yeah, they never had a DJ before. And like baseball teams are really starting to like push the DJ for like the games for entertainment value.
Yeah.
And the players wanted it. The players were like, yo, we're so sick of like during batting practice listening to like some stupid Spotify playlist. Like players were actually throwing baseballs up to the press box to get them to change the music. So they were like, yo, we got to do something about this. So we went in and it worked out. They wanted me just by myself, but like I couldn't do all 81 games.
Yeah,
And
it's a lot.
I still wanted to kind of have my own DJ schedule, you know, working in the nightclubs. And those home stands are like 10 games in a row. It's a lot.
No,
I was like, I don't
yeah,
want to do all
yeah.
that.
At the same time, were you on tour yet or not yet?
Pauly called me to do that the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was super aggressive. And I kind of wanted to have my cake and eat it too. I wanted to still work with Pauly
Right.
and work for the Phillies. So luckily, I went back to the Phillies. I was like, my schedule got a little bit more aggressive, and I kind of explained to them. I was like, how do you feel about me just like finding good guys from the area
team,
and develop a team? And they were reluctant to it, so it worked out.
That's good.
Yeah.
It looks like everything's going like pretty like flawlessly. Like you
Yeah, I mean, last year couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
How
yeah.
was that?
Oh
Like
my
once we
goodness.
actually started.
Holy
like,
shit. I mean, the postseason was absolutely incredible. And, like, for some reason, the reception for us as DJs, like, you would have thought, like, the compliments that we got, that we were actually fucking players playing on the field. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was, like, so nice. Like,
That's
what do you guys need now for that next year? Do you
Wow.
need this?
Yeah,
Do you need
that's
that?
awesome.
And we're like, yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
I mean, yeah, big market team too, like the Phillies. Like they can do a lot. I'm sure.
It was cool DJ. I mean, you think baseball is like this, like you bring your grandfather, you kind of like go and relax, and
Right.
a lot of season ticket holders were sending emails like, "This is too aggressive.
Oh.
Like we don't want to see the DJ. We don't care about the DJ.
Yeah.
because you know we're playing like hype shit.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like while you're eating popcorn, like I'm playing Booyah, like Showtime. You know what I
But
mean?
you need that for the crowd because that's how Philly
100%.
works.
People really
yeah.
were receptive. People have loved it. I mean, one of my biggest TikToks, or one of my only few TikToks, was me just playing the Dancing on My Own.
Yeah.
And it got like 500,000 likes, but everyone was kind of like, we love the DJ this year. I'm thinking like, yo, screw the DJ. You think all like the negative feedback you would get.
Yeah.
But people are like, people also think that we do the players walk up music, because a lot of them are like shitty songs. You know, like Bryce Harper has like the most boring walk up songs ever, and he's like our best player on the team.
Yeah.
So people are like, yo, DJ, like stop playing Bryce's music, or or change up Bryce's walk up song. Like we have any
Yeah,
kind of
it's
say
like
in
that's
the
your
matter.
decision. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so they kind of put that blame on us, but other than that, it's been fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like music, like really, with sports, like has like such a big relation. Like amping
Yeah.
people up. You know, even the players listening to music pregame, them getting hyped up, getting in the zone for the
Batting
game.
practice is a lot of fun because, like I said, they want it the most. So us being down, we're down on the field with them DJing. So a lot of them don't really pay too much mind to us at all. But few, like Brad Marsh, like he loves when we're there.
That's awesome.
Like I know he likes DMX. So actually, opening day is a funny story. I know he likes DMX, and he always comes up and dabs me up. He's like the only player that does it. He's like kind of like stretching. I didn't see him bat yet, And I'm like, I'm going to play a DMX song. And as soon as I did it, he looked at me, and all I hear him say is, give me a bat, give me a bat. And he goes up and just starts hitting home runs.
Oh, my God, that's awesome.
So I did like a couple DMX songs, and he goes, yo, thank you, I needed that.
He's pretty young, right?
Yeah, I think he's like 24
Yeah,
maybe.
something like that. That was a
yeah.
great pickup by them. I think.
Oh, he's awesome.
When they did that trade, I was like, wow, like that's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
he brings like a different energy to the bullpen or in the dugout.
Yeah, it seems like their culture is like really like getting like built right now. Like I know we made the World Series and you know, we did lose, but a lot of teams it takes them like a long time to get to that point, and like we're still kind of at the beginning. Like we have a lot of young guys,
Right,
and, all like
and
that.
they all like each other. They all seem to be
Right.
like buddy. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like this strict business. Like let's get this done and leave. They seem to be all cool with each other, which is huge.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's great. Do they have is there any type of like players like requests like songs like that they give you?
The
or
only,
anything?
you know what's funny? The only time that people would ever or players would ever come up to us when we had Joe Girardi as our manager. He loved Biggie, obviously because he played for
New York.
He
Right,
was not played, but he was managing the Yankees for so long. So like we'd always do like a Biggie set for him, and he would just like look back at us, and be like, keep it going. But not, the players, I mean, obviously like last year we had a couple like Dominican guys that I don't think they're not even on the team anymore. We always played the Bad Bunny stuff for them,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. But now it's kind of just keep it hype for them.
How does it kind of correlate to like doing a club or bar? Like,
I play like a club set for batting practice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm doing like, you know, I'm trying to think of some songs. Like I'll do like Grove Street Party, you know. I'll keep it like in the 70 beats per minute, like all hype shit, you know. That's it really. It's all hip. I'm playing a lot of hip hop during batting practice.
yeah, I bet.
I
yeah.
saved all the EDM stuff for later, you know,
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the game.
I DJ'd Kiss Kiss on Thursday. All hip hop. I didn't. I don't
Oh,
think-
yeah?
I might have played like 2 pop songs maybe.
Really?
But I kind of liked it because it was like different than a typical like open format stuff that we do in Philly, and kind of like tested my mixing in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember being at Kiss Kiss and just like it's super important to be a good DJ there because they can just walk out and go to
Go
another.
gamble or go to
Yeah, Tropicana is a mall of bars.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But I always noticed like people would get there early. I'd play for them, and then I'd be so mad that they left, and it's only like 12:30.
Right.
But then they're back in an hour. I see them walk right back in.
So did you start DJing in Philly, or did you start like at school? Or?
I started in Philly. Oh, no, I started DJing up at Rutgers.
Oh, Rutgers. You went to Rutgers?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I got 9 from. Exit 9 off the Turnpike is where Rutgers
okay,
is.
gotcha.
And then once I graduated there, I moved back to Jersey into my parents' place, and that's when that's where I met Frank. It's funny that we're here because Frank was like the first person that put me on in
Oh,
Atlantic
really?
City.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
thanks, Frank. And then that's where I met all the DJs that worked under Center Stage. I worked for Center Stage for 6-7 years.
Wow, didn't even know that.
Yeah, and then I just started doing more like Philly stuff. I was like, it's closer to home a little bit,
Yeah,
right.
right.
And just things just kind of evolved.
Was there like a point to like where you took a break, or you kind of just like left college and
Hell no.
started DJing like right away, like doing bars?
That was the
and stuff?
thing. Like I obviously went to college to try to figure it out,
Right,
And then I
yeah.
found DJing like a month in, and I was like, this is cool.
Yeah,
And then you don't
yeah.
really know what I was doing it for fun, and then I realized that you can make money doing it. And then you kind of don't really. I mean, then you kind of don't
Yeah.
really understand like how much you can make, and then you kind of like learn that as you go. And then I just never stopped.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything else.
No,
Fuck, why would you?
Not at all. Yeah, you're getting paid to play music. It's,
Yeah.
it's like one of the best jobs
Yes,
you could ask for.
it's been good.
Yeah, I was pretty similar. Like I joined a fraternity my freshman year, and then sophomore year, the DJ we had like graduated, and they were like, "Who wants a DJ?" So I was,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'll try it out. So I just bought a board and kind of started messing around in Serato.
Yep.
And yeah, and
That
then-
was the beauty of like 2005, 2006. Like Serato was only like 2 years in, so not everyone DJ'd. It was just like it was unique to be a DJ. It was
Yeah,
fun to
yeah.
be a DJ. So like if you were good, you were like sought after. So like I always got the calls on the weekends at Rutgers. Like, damn, Nine's good. Like let's have him at our frat. Let's have him at our frat. Frats would call me up to be like, yo, where are you at Friday? Because we're thinking of having a party Friday. Well, I was like, I'm actually next door at, let's say, AE Pie. They're like,
Right.
shit, okay, we'll have our party on Saturday. Can you do that then?
Wow.
So I would do the party I initially had and then do theirs the following day. So they kind of coordinate their own parties based on my availability.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What was the very first bar or like club gig you ever got?
At Rutgers, it was called Old Queens.
Oh, okay.
It's like that's their bar.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's funny. It's like the 60,000 people go there, and this place holds like 200 people. It's like super small. But I was there a long time, even after I graduated. I was still driving up there to still be affiliated. But that was my first one. For that, in Philly, mine was where was I? The Roxy, which is now Roar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My Roar Thursday. Sean Kingston.
There you go.
Come out. Tickets
see-
still available. Self promotion a little
Sean
bit.
Kingston. Where were we just at? He was there.
Probably Miami, right? Maybe.
No, Cancun.
Oh, Cancun.
Yeah.
That guy's everywhere. I was in Fort Lauderdale last month, and he was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he pops around, man. People still rock with him. He was there the day before we got in spring break. He did like a spring break
Okay,
day
cool.
out there, Mandala Beach. So sick.
How was that? Yeah, I was at
So
it.
sick.
It's probably crazy.
My gosh. It's spring break in Cancun. It's like
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Yeah, we went to the Bahamas for spring break 2 years ago. That was so much fun.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I was doing that for 6 years, Bahamas, from March 1st to March 22nd every year.
Oh, wow.
Or 24th, yeah. With Student City, the spring break
oh
company.
yeah, that's what we use.
Is that?
yeah.
Yep. You didn't know that? I was out there for
No.
yeah. Every day for. Oh, so you were what? Did you stay at Breezes?
Yeah. Yep. Breezes.
Hell yeah.
And we went there. Did you go?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went
our
there for a senior trip
high
when we
school.
graduated.
Oh
high
wow.
school. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's the old
so
stomping grounds. Yep. I know them. I know names there at the hotel.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Club Hurricane, right downstairs.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Do you remember the guy Godfrey?
Yeah, of
I
course.
love him. The Godfrey special.
Yeah, yep.
I just got reminded of him the other day because I was in Wicked's like employee bathroom and there's a lot of writing on the wall and it just says Godfrey.
Yeah.
And I just got
yeah.
flashbacks to the
That's funny.
Godfrey special
gosh,
and
that's
that thing
fun.
was amazing.
Yeah, Student City. I started working with them 2016, and it was for the Bahamas. So you're there the first day the students get there, and then what are you there 4 or 5 days, and then
Yeah,
with a
something
bunch of
like
schools, and then other schools come in. So from let's just say it's March 1st, we're there until the 24th, 25th when the last bus leaves. So we're there literally DJing every single day. You know, the day party and then the
Yeah,
night party,
yeah.
wherever it could be at.
Right.
We would do both. I don't know who. I think it was just local guys as the DJs. for-
Yeah, it would be like that a lot.
yeah, so they stopped. I mean, I guess budget-wise, COVID really messed everything up. That's why I don't even work for I don't even do the Bahamas anymore.
Right.
They're
yeah.
not like really paying DJs to come out there to work.
Yeah, they probably lost so much money
Yeah,
when everything shut
yeah.
down.
Yeah. But yeah, I was doing that every single year. And the first 5 days are a lot of fun, and then you're like, holy shit, I have like 20 more days of this. There's no breaks. There's parties every single day. It never stops.
Yeah, it's a marathon.
Yeah, it's a
Definitely.
lot. But oh my goodness, I would never. I miss it.
Yeah, no, I bet. Especially just being in that weather and that vibe. Even like when I was in Fort Lauderdale last month, I was like, wow, like I love this music. Like, I would play this music if I could in Philly all the
Yeah.
time. It's, it's different vibes, different crowds.
I'm always connecting with a DJ out there. There's a resident out there that plays at Bond
Okay.
and Aura. His name's Ignite. I'm like, yo, send me all your shit that you're playing out here. You know, because they have different stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. And I listen to it. I'm like, I can't play this in Philly. This would be weird.
Yeah, that's how it is. Well, honestly, a lot of like your like bootlegs and remixes, I have like some of them, and I got them from DJ Cappy when I was helping him out
Oh,
with
okay.
weddings.
Yeah.
And that was before I even like really like knew you or anything like that. So I would have in my Serato like DJ N9NE remix. I was like, oh, this guy must be like some like famous producer or something. I had no idea. And then and then I met you at like Ubon or something like that. I think I was like, oh shit, I put the pieces together.
Yeah.
I was like, I play his fucking remixes all the time, but they're like really. There's like a sing along and it goes into like a hard EDM shit, and I love that.
Yeah, I have a
shit.
problem with that.
So much fun. You know, it's great. Keep doing it. It's awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I like though. Like you
Yeah.
were, like the other night, like especially when I'm working and you're playing, I'm like,
nice. Hell yeah.
it like makes my night a lot better.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
Especially when people are getting on my nerves.
Saturday was kind of weird. It was like that. It was like that Thanksgiving Eve crowd where it's like we don't care too much about Thanksgiving the next day. Like we're still staying in
Yeah.
Philly. Like all the, it was just like the what am I trying to say? It was just like the regular people that you would see out at Wicked Wolf on like a Friday or Saturday just wasn't there. It was like a completely different crowd. And I'm like, that's right, Easter's tomorrow. Like people really care.
You had those girls
Yeah.
bothering you for a bunch of requests.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And that was early on too.
They literally came in and Jamie told me they asked for like 10 right away.
Yeah.
Oh my
I didn't
gosh.
even put my bag down yet.
How are
It's
you
just like-
usually like with requests? You like them or you?
Yeah, I like to know what everyone's listening,
Yeah.
what they want to listen to, and then I'll just gauge it based off of what they ask me for. You know,
Yeah.
if it's something completely outlandish, I'm gonna tell them. I'm like, look, like you know, this is a weird request, right? Like this isn't gonna work.
And a lot of people don't understand. Like we have to download all our music beforehand, and
Yeah.
unless you had Wi-Fi, then you could like stream
No one-
shit. But I never do that.
No one's
like,
thinking about that stuff.
And yeah, I'm like, listen, I don't have it. I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
and it flip out sometimes. How don't you
Yeah.
have it? You need my hotspot? I'm like, no.
There was a weird moment that night too, actually, where this guy came up to me. He told me he was from New York. He's like, look, man. He's like, they tell you what to play here, and that's just a tall tale sign that he doesn't like what I'm playing.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I was like, I could pretty much, create the environment. He goes, oh, okay. And I'm playing like ABBA, Gimme Gimme right now. I'm like, this
No,
dude.
I distinctly remember you playing Gimme Gimme. And I was going down the steps. I was like,
Yeah, it's the best.
So he was like, I was pretty much like, what do you want to hear, dude? He's like, yo, man, if you play A Boogie with the hoodie right now, everyone's gonna go nuts. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm sure some will, sure, But I'm looking around. I'm like, ABBA's working out right now. Could you imagine if I just dropped A Boogie
Oh
right
my
now?
God, we'd kill it.
Yeah.
We'd kill the vibe.
I was just like, yeah, I'll make it work. And then luckily he kind of went away. But
The worst is when they come back up to you like 3 more times.
yeah,
Hey, I didn't hear you.
Well, that's when you got to be honest. That's
Yeah.
because I don't want them coming back again.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not gonna go and tell you, yeah, I'll play, and then I don't play it because then I don't want them coming back. I like to avoid that.
Yeah, it's funny at like when I'm DJing Pace and Blossom. Some of my friends know I hate the phones. I hate like when people throw their phones in the face with the songs.
Yeah.
So they'll put up like "You're doing great" or something. I like look at it, and be like, "Wow, what's this person want?" And I'm like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
Kind of like messing with me.
You had the resting bitch face, and then
Yeah,
now you're
yeah.
the asshole for
Exactly.
giving him a dirty look. Yeah.
So with those bootlegs and like remixes, did you start doing that like when you first started DJing? Like how'd you start?
Yeah. It was just mainly I was doing them live. I'd like what was like the EDM period, like 2013 or something, where like I play a top 40 song or something, but I wanted it to go into something that I didn't have like the
Yeah.
actual track for. So I was doing them live, and I'm like, this is a lot of work. Why don't I just go home and just make it? And so I just can just knock it out of the park in just one
Right.
deck,
Yeah.
So I just kept doing that, and then I mean, obviously, like the Crook and Clan sites and all the music subscription sites where you can get all the bootlegs and stuff. I was like, let me like make my own like little bootleg packs, like everyone else is doing. So, but I make sure I play them out first to see if it works. I don't just make them and be like,
Test
well,
it,
yeah, hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully it works. I think they work for me. That's why I make them. Then I'm like, I'll just give them out to people now.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I know you started DJing for like Q102, right? Like pretty early on.
Yeah, I started with Wired 96.5.
Okay.
2014, 13. Then they got bought out.
Okay.
Yeah. CBS Radio bought them out, and CBS Radio is like super corporate. And
Yeah,
they were like,
they didn't-
we don't like DJs. You guys are gone. So unfortunately, we got pretty much fired. And then Q102 came around. So Buster from Q102 worked at Wired 96.5, and there's the
Okay.
reason why I was there. And then when we all pretty much got fired, Buster went away to do radio somewhere else. I think he was down in Florida. He might have popped around a few different places. But he called me 2000, Christ, I don't know, 19, maybe 2018 or 19. And whenever Buster calls me, I'm like, ooh, what's going on?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And
Sounds
he's
good.
like, ready to get the gang back together? I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm moving back to Philly. He's like, I'm going to run Q102. I was like, holy shit.
Wow, that's
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So then he just got the gang back together now. I was doing Saturdays at 9 o'clock. I always dub it 9 at 9. Shameless. Stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It works.
But no, I actually stopped doing it recently. Just it became too much of my traveling schedule and stuff. But I do
makes sense, yeah.
Thursdays. I do a throwback Thursday at like 5:30, like during the traffic hour. So I'll do it like a day or two beforehand and then submit it to them. I don't go into the station to do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they just load it up, and that's it, really.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure like the first time you like heard yourself on the radio, you're like,
Oh, so sick.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Like leaving a gig, because I think the Saturdays, like the Wired days when I first started, I think the mixes started at 10 o'clock, and then one DJ plays from 10 to 11, the other plays from 11 to 12. I think the last one is from like 1 to 2 a.m.
Okay.
So there was times you leave like a gig or something and turn on the radio and you're just listening to yourself.
Yeah,
Super cool.
That's
Yeah.
sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's probably like
You hear all your flaws live on the radio. It's
Yeah, like,
cool.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I will, if I'm out at a club not DJing, I can't help it. I'm just like listening to like the transitions and the
Of
mixes,
course.
and I'm just paying attention to all that. And I'm always like, I have my phone out and like writing notes,
Mhm.
like transition this into this at this
Yeah.
time. My friends are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you get to a point as a DJ where you stop even listening to lyrics. You're like, oh, will this song work in the club? You don't even care what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
It's funny because at one of the Phillies game, There's certain events that happen after the game, like where you kind of have to stay and DJ a little bit longer. And like one of them was kids like run the bases when the game's over. They have like a whole bunch of kids just come out, they just constantly run around the bases. So I had to DJ for that, and I'm playing like obviously like fun stuff for the kids or whatever. But like I played Blurred Lines.
Yeah.
And the producer was like, Eddie, can you change this, please? And I'm like, why? He's like, this song is like kind of subjective. And I'm like, I guess you're right.
A little bit.
You know? I'm thinking it's just like, upbeat.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But like it is a pretty, I guess, whatever. The lyrics and stuff.
He got a lot of heat for that music video, if you remember.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That song kind of gets on my nerves.
I actually
Him in general, I think, just gets on my nerves.
I
don't
actually
know
saw a
what it is.
thing like the other day, or my friend showed me maybe. They're like, "This Blurred Line's like one of the worst songs ever."
No.
I like it. It's like it is like a cool.
But it was like anything. It's like anything else. When it's super popular, it just gets completely overplayed. and
Yeah,
you're
I don't
just sick
think it's
of it.
like bad music. I think like him as a person just bothers me.
Oh, okay.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more on the personal side.
Yeah.
No, I don't know
Fair.
why.
We just pay
Like ever
attention to
since I was
music,
younger
yeah.
and he came out, I was like, just gives me the ick.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a no for me, dog.
It's
Yeah,
funny 'cause I
like,
feel like in
Can't
this
get pissed at
in
me.
this world now, kind of have to pay attention, like keep up with the artist and like what's going on with like Kanye. Like I
Sure.
remember, I played Kanye at the club one time when everything was going on, and some girl came up to me. She's like, "Are you actually playing
Oh,
him right
somebody
now?"
actually
And I
gave
was
you
like,
shit for it, really?
"Yeah, yeah." And I was like, "It's a good song." I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Who just asked me? I was on Direct Music Service podcast, and they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I still play like Paris, Jay-Z, like one of those like
Yeah.
older but still hype songs." I'm
Right.
like, "Yeah, I still play that." Like, you doing the Kanye verse? And I'm like, "Yeah."
Have
But
to.
I'm also thinking, I'm like, I can see where it's
Right,
hit or
yeah.
miss now these days.
No, I mean it makes it. Yeah, the guy's out of his mind. I mean, he just says,
Right.
But
But it's one of those things where it's like you're still playing Michael Jackson. It's where do we
Exactly.
But we're not playing R. Kelly. It's like where do we draw the line?
Yeah.
It's a very gray area.
But that is definitely something like I kind of took note and just to like, keep up on this now. Like like what are these guys doing and saying on social media? And now, when you started, was there social media when you started DJing? That's a disrespectful question, but it's a real question. No, I know you've been around for a while. I know you've been around for a while.
I'm messing with you. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
He's gonna leave now. I fucked up.
Make that a reel, dude.
It's the end of the episode.
Can't believe.
Yes.
Well, there's a reason why I asked. There's a reason why I asked. All right.
that was funny.
There's a reason why I asked.
MySpace.
Ah!
Yeah, Jinx.
MySpace. Okay.
Jinx.
Well,
Yeah.
what I wanted to ask was, because social media obviously wasn't as big.
Yeah.
Were you still using it to like promote everything? Like
Yeah.
with-
It wasn't so much Facebook was the Facebook when I first got it.
Facebook, yeah,
You
yeah,
had
yeah.
to be in college. But MySpace was huge because I was using them. You know how you could? Oh God, do you remember MySpace or not?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to ask.
Or like that weird face, like where
It was super cool because you could like add your own song as like your page.
I remember that.
So like
yeah,
I would use my
yeah.
mashups, like the blends that I would make and stuff. It was more. I think SoundCloud wasn't out yet.
Okay.
It was more. How the hell did I get around then? It was just MySpace, really. I don't remember really using it as like a networking tool. It was more like you got to show up.
Right.
You got to be
Yeah.
face to face, which still sticks, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was only MySpace, and then when Instagram, obviously, when did Instagram come around? 2009, 8?
yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember. Somebody knows. That's when it just all hell broke loose. That's
Right.
when you can use it the best you can.
Yeah, because I remember
But-
growing up, I feel like I would see like actual flyers, like printed
Mm-hmm.
flyers, like on like poles and shit, like
Yeah,
promoting gigs.
yeah. I
or
never.
from the radio. Like I remember listening. Like I
Yeah,
grew up
radio
like
too,
listening to the
yeah.
radio.
Yeah.
Like when you said 96.5 got bought out, I was like thinking about when I was younger, listening
Yeah.
to them. I remember like DJ like at like late night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fridays and Saturdays. Yeah, that was. Yeah, we used to crush it then. The ratings were like so good. Everybody wants consistent music. Everyone wants to hear songs consistently without commercials in between.
Yeah, yeah.
So you always win with that stuff. But
How long are the mixes usually?
an hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are two 24-minute segments, and then in between they cut to commercial. Then they
Gotcha.
come back to our next mix.
Was Philly like always the plan for you to move to Philly, or did you kind of want to?
No, I just wanted to go where all the hot spots were.
Right, yeah.
Like I wanted to be in the clubs. I was so ready for it. I wanted to do it. Rutgers was a great platform for me to like really try. And if you ever been to that university, the frats are like fucking giant nightclubs.
Yeah, no,
They
I
fit
bet,
500 people. You know, they have the DJ booth, they have the lights, they have the smoke. You know, it's all that nightclub stuff put into a frat house. So I had like really good practice.
Yeah, the D1 schools like look crazy. I went to Rowan, so we're D3, and they're growing like rapidly, like right now. And but we were kind of just small, like little frat house, and we had the lights and everything like that, and tried our best. But some of these D1 schools, they actually look like nightclubs, bigger, like bigger than nightclubs in Philly too. Like it's like
Rutgers had a street, pretty much it was called Frat Row, and it's the biggest houses in almost central Jersey. Like they're mansions.
Yeah,
you know, like you walk in the front of it, you're like, holy shit. You know, got the pillars out front. You know, if you can imagine like a 1980s movie with a frat house, you know what it would essentially look like. Yeah, exactly.
Did you kind of were you traveling around like DJing a lot before Pauly? Like,
I caught a couple flights, but it was mainly like tri-state stuff.
Yeah,
hitting down the shore in the summertime. You know, the typical stuff. Shout out the center stage because I was at Bally's Beach Bar for like 12 years, doing that every Saturday, doing a night gig on Saturday nights. I'm down in Sea Isle, you know, in the summertime. The OD, love that place. So much fun. Have you ever been?
I've been once, but it was a Sunday for my friend's
no shower
21st
happy
bar
hour.
crawl.
Hell yeah.
So I do need to go like on an actual weekend.
It's so much fun.
Like it was still fun on Sunday, but like anything like Saturday.
No shower happy hour.
Yeah, I've never really experienced the down the shore spots too much because as soon as I turned 21, I started DJing like in Philly in the bars and everything. Yeah. And then like summer came around, more shit in Philly opened up obviously because everybody goes down the shore.
Yeah.
So my friends are all like, "Oh, we're going down the shore." I'm like, "I got a gig. Sorry,
right.
I can't do it."
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the sacrifice you make. But I think it's totally worth it.
Sure
obviously.
is. Yeah, it was just like a lot of Philly stuff, a lot of Jersey stuff, and then you build up networking, you connect with people, and then I was taking a couple flights going down like to Florida, Chicago. I love Chicago. The summertime is doped out there.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Chicago's nice.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. And then obviously with Pauly, it was like full bloom. Like I'm flying every weekend.
Yeah.
And he's the reason why I get to see every dope nightclub in the country, you know.
How is that like traveling around? Obviously, it's great and cool, but is it mentally tolling, physically tolling?
Saying it's great and cool is true, but I always say this: us as DJs, we want to be in the best nightclubs. We want to play for the most amount of people. It's like the dream, right? When you're in the best nightclubs and stuff, and you go and say, "Yeah, I'm playing we're going to Salt Lake City, Utah. We're going to San Diego. We're going to San Francisco. We're going to Vegas, and then I'll be home." That sounds awesome on paper. But you have to physically get to these places and go and do it, and then go to the next place and get up and go to the next place. It's a lot. And you think of like, imagine like Drake or Justin Bieber or any people that go on like tours, like these 6-month tours. Like, it's so fucking grueling. It's so nuts. It's like, that's your life during that period of time. That's what you're doing every single day. And it's a lot, but it's awesome at the same time. You wouldn't trade it in for anything else. Yeah, but it is aggressive.
Yeah, do you get like time to like look around each place?
People ask me
just
that.
Like bounce.
It's funny, and with that, you think, oh, it's so awesome. Like you're going to be in San Diego, but it's like, yeah, we get in at 5 p.m. Sound checks at 8 o'clock. After sound check, you haven't eaten yet because you had a 5-hour flight. You didn't really eat on the plane, so you have to get dinner. And at that point, it's already 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Pauly goes on at 12. Shit, don't have much time to really do any of that, and then do the show. Get back into the hotel at 2:30 in the morning, and you're getting picked up at 5 a.m. to go to the airport. Where'd your day just go? It's like a lot of days are like that.
And it's just like repeat. Right?
And it repeats. Yeah. So there's been so many times where we go right from, how do I put this? You go right from the airport, let's say in Vegas. You fly to, let's say again, San Diego. You're there 2 p.m., and then you're like, well, what I just said, the whole rundown. It's like you only seen the hotel to the airport to the club to the hotel to the airport. You didn't see anything. You just, there's certain days where you can maybe pop around, but then you're also like you're by yourself. You know, it's like you're not with your friends, you're not with your homies. You know, and Pauly and our tour manager, they've done it for so long. They've been touring like this since 2011. So it's just like another night for them. You know, they don't really need. There's no sightseeing to go. You know, they've seen it all. You know. So, not much of that.
It must be nice if you had like a friend in town or something. Then, right?
That
Meet up
happens
with them.
sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it actually happens more often than not when somebody will tell me, like, "Yo, I'm in Vegas for the weekend." Like, "Oh, that's awesome. I haven't seen you in a while. Like, come
Yeah.
to the show. Come hang out." You know, Ray, my fiance, she comes out to all the warm climates.
I would too.
I don't
Yeah,
blame her.
facts.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to come to Grand Rapids, Michigan with me, you know, but she'll
Yeah,
come
yeah,
to,
yeah.
you know, Miami or something.
Where'd you meet Ray at? In Philly?
I met her. Yeah, it was technically Philly, I guess. We met at Xfinity actually.
Wow.
Yeah, but we were just friends at first, and then she started flirting with me.
Who knew good things actually come out of Xfinity?
Yeah, right. Who knew you could get a relationship from Xfinity Live?
That's so cute though.
Yeah, we hung out like maybe once or twice. Make a long story short, once we hung out, I think we hung out at like her place or something, and then I never left. I never did.
Right.
I moved right in.
Yeah.
I moved in.
That's
yeah.
nice how it was so like natural though.
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah,
really
that is
was.
awesome. And she seems like
She's
completely on board and supportive. Of
Yeah,
everything.
that's one thing with DJing is just being away from home, especially how busy I've gotten. Since knowing Ray, I've been with her for 7 years.
Okay.
I've gotten busier and busier. It's like trying to find the balance of, you know,
Right.
not being home, but like, and then coming home and being a good fiance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Stuff is
yeah.
tough. It's very tough.
Yeah, I bet like if you go home, you kind of just want to shut down sometimes
Yeah.
and like not even talk to
Yeah,
anybody.
for sure. Like she's the person that you want if you're a DJ. You know, she's super supportive.
I always, hear that like in nightlife, and ever since I started, like it's really hard to maintain a relationship. And
We're pain in the asses.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, we have to be super selfish because if we don't DJ, then we're not getting paid. So the more you DJ, the more you get paid. You know, so you have to constantly be busy in order
Right.
to make a living. And with that, it's all the nightlife stuff, and then all the bullshit that comes with nightlife stuff.
Yeah.
And it takes somebody like Ray to really be on your side. I lucked out.
It takes a lot of patience as a girl too.
Yeah. I mean, she'd tell you, have her on. She'll let her unleash, you know. She deals with a lot of, crap. You know, she handles it really well.
Yeah, any girl that I've like even started remotely talking to like the past few years, they're like, you're a DJ. Like DJs have like a bad
I
rep.
had
I
someone
feel
tell
like.
me recently they can't. But like it wasn't even like that. But they were like, I can't wife up a girl that works in the industry. I was like,
Well, that's what I say.
first of all,
I've said
bitch,
that.
I'm trying to make money.
I've said that. But that's only because I'm in it too, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like-
I wouldn't want
you
to.
see
Like,
certain
I wouldn't
things,
want to
yeah.
be with somebody in the industry either because you're colliding. You're seeing the same
Yeah,
people, and then you see people.
The only way
try to
people feel like
flirt
it
with
works,
them.
yeah, I agree. And the only way people feel like it works out is just because of the same schedule. You know,
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
nightlife people would work out. Like we both work in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So okay, I guess this would work out. You know, but
Right.
it could be very toxic as well. You have to handle it well. You have to handle nightlife well with the drinking stuff and the partying stuff and everything is so social with people hanging around you that are drinking. It's like you just got to know how to balance it, and that's how it works out.
Yeah,
you got to know how to handle it.
You were saying earlier, like when you're on tour with Pauly, he doesn't drink anymore, right?
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't around me or anything.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So like at the gigs, like you're not drinking too much. I'm sure
No.
that helps a ton in terms
you
of
can't.
the
You just-
traveling and all
yeah,
that stuff.
I mean, you just can't. It's when you're going from city to city to city. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you know, I was just explaining. It's like when you do the show, we know that we have to get up and we know we have to get back to the airport in 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
And like the show didn't even start yet. You know what I mean? So thinking like that, it's like, why am I going to drink for what? And I'm a social drinker, so it's like. If we're all hanging out at a place or something,
Sipping
yeah, I'll do a
something.
shot or two with you
Right.
guys. You know what I mean? But like when you're by yourself, it's like I'm not just gonna sip a drink. You know,
Yeah,
I wanted to be a social thing with people, and a lot of times we only travel in a 3-piece. It's me, Paulie, and his tour manager.
Okay.
So there's no real like entourage of like us. Like,
Yeah.
cool, man, we're gonna be in San Francisco. Let's drink tonight. You know, it's
Right.
it's not like
I'm
that.
sure he had that in like the beginning of his career, like more so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do people like react when you're like walking around with him and like? Are people like?
Yeah, he's super celeb, you know,
Yeah.
and he's always had a good rapport, so everyone loves him, you know.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot. In the airports and stuff, you know, 5 a.m. we're eating our breakfast and people want a photo, you know. It's like just I can understand the shock value of being in Dallas, Texas airport at 5 a.m. trying to go back home wherever you're going and seeing Paulie next to you at the, sitting at the gate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I could see
yeah.
where people are like, oh my God, like I want to take this photo with him. When's the next time I'm going to be able to see him? but there's also a respect factor. It's like, yeah, we haven't slept yet.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
we're eating our
Like, you're
breakfast.
still people at the end of the day. Like,
Sure.
give it a break. Like,
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
But he's nice. He's nice with that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
he never says no.
Yeah, I actually had that like fan moment at my graduation. J. Cole was actually at
Oh,
my
dope.
graduation, and
Oh, yeah.
he
Was he a speaker or something?
he came for a fan like when she was applying to college or something, or he made like a deal with her. If you graduate, I'll come to your graduation. Something
No
like
way.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
I think
super
I heard
cool.
about that.
Yeah, you probably did. It was
'Cause
like
my
all over
ex had
Twitter.
told him.
But
Oh, that's super cool.
yeah, I'm sitting down and like the guy's like talking, whoever was talking, and like I look over, I'm like, is that J. Cole? Like, what the fuck? Like, I love J. Cole.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the like current best
Oh, for sure.
current rappers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he actually like spits. He's
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
lyricist. Yeah, and that's kind of rap that I enjoy.
Nice.
But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was like, do I like go get a picture of this guy? Or not? And I didn't want to bother him, so I didn't do it. And like surprisingly, like nobody like really did at all. I was expecting
Wow.
like some
Sure.
some of the college kids to run up to him.
Right.
But yeah, that was really cool seeing him. And I was thinking that in my head. I'm like, this guy doesn't want to be
Yeah,
coached right now.
being around like a celebrity, it is different. It is like a really big culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you do see it from his perspective, you know, all the time, and it's like you need to just like be away from the public because the public always wants to be around
Right.
you. It's like,
yeah.
could you imagine that? Like just feeling almost like suffocating all the time. It's like everyone
could
knows you're
never
in the
do
room
that.
right now.
Yeah.
You know, we go to
yeah.
dinner and we go to sit down. I mean, we have to go through the front door. We have to go through tables to get to our table,
Mhm.
you know? And then once you sit down, you just like, you look around, you're like, everyone noticed he's sitting here right now. You feel the energy. I mean, he probably blocks it out. He's used to it. But, you know, I feel it. I'm
You're
like,
trying to enjoy your meal and you feel
yeah,
eyeballs like on
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Does he like wear a hat or a hood a lot like when he's walking around? I know his hair.
Have you ever seen his hair? He can't.
Crazy. Yeah, yeah.
What does he put in that?
Everything.
A lot of
Cement?
hairspray, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no. Certain situations, you know, when we're in the airport, he'll have a hat on. I do miss the mask days because it really covered up a lot.
Yeah, that probably helped a lot.
People still notice them.
It's probably a lot more pressure on kid celebrities when they're starting out. Like Justin Bieber. Like he,
Oh, my goodness,
he was
yeah.
13, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of bad experiences, like paparazzi and stuff like that. But you think
Yeah.
about it,
I
you
can
know,
never
how
do
could you
it.
blame him?
Paparazzi. I don't know how people do it. I'd literally fucking smack this shit.
I don't blame
out
these
of
people that go nuts sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, when they lash out like that. Fucking tired of it.
yeah. There's one video of Kanye. The guy was like filming him in his garage, and he's
Right.
I forget what he said exactly, but he's like, "Dude, get out of here."
Hey, good morning, Kanye.
Shut the fuck up.
It's
And then
crazy.
they bring up your kids and stuff. Like, what's
Yeah,
like?
yeah, like your personal life.
It's crazy how paparazzi is just legal.
I
you
know,
know,
right? It's
like-
literally
Like,
stalking.
it's literally
It
you're
is.
getting paid to like basically bully and harass people.
Uh-huh. It is a weird dynamic that really hasn't like crossed over to it being like just politically incorrect to
Right.
do something like that.
Yeah, which is honestly surprising.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's one of those things too where you can't feel bad for them because like they kind of built this like crazy
yeah,
life for
that
themselves.
too.
But
Yeah,
you know,
Mhm.
you make a career off of having a fan base, and then the fan base is going to be around you. They want to be near you. you
yeah.
know?
No, I do get that. Do you have people come up to you ever and
It's been
kind of recognize you? Like,
yeah, it's been slowly like happening. The more like consistently you're in like these different cities with Pauly and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, more. I think when it happens the most is when I leave sound check. Every venue that we go to, whether we're there the first time or like the 1,000th time, I have to go to sound check before the club opens. 9 times out of 10, when I leave sound check, people are already waiting in line to get into the club because the club.
Oh,
I always get into the club for sound check like an hour before the club opens,
Right.
so the line's already starting to kind of form outside.
And what's your like specific role like with Pauly?
So I'm pretty much his like tour tech.
Okay.
What that means is Pauly doesn't have to worry about going into the club to make sure all the equipment's working fine. That's my job. I go in there, I test everything. We have what's called a tech rider, where when we go to each club, we require certain equipment. So and you're a DJ, you know. You'll learn.
I'm learning beats per minute. Yeah,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. See, you're already good. You're good. Start mixing. He uses CDJ 3000s.
Okay.
And like a Pioneer Nexus 2 900. So the club has to have that when we go. So my job is to go into the club, make sure they have all that stuff. I'm talking to every nightclub a week before we get there to make sure the stuff's even going to be there.
Yeah.
So I got to do that stuff. And then I test the CDJs, make sure everything's working right. I'll play a couple songs, test the microphone, make sure the batteries are fully charged.
Do you
all
ever
that
do
kind
like
of
mini
stuff.
sets before he goes on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that, to go back, when I leave sound check and people are waiting in line, I'll hear like, "Oh my God, Nine, what's up, man? What's up? Can I take it?" You know, it's always bros. And then I go back to the club. If Pauly goes on at like 12:30 or something and plays till 2, I'll walk into the club at like 11:45. I'll probably play like 15 minutes. It's mainly to kind of transition from the opening DJ that's already been there, get his stuff out of the way, set Pauly's laptop up. I always say when I open up Pauly's laptop and the laptop skin has his name on it, the fucking place goes nuts.
Yeah,
They're ready to see him. They've been there for the longest time waiting. So I'll play 10 minutes to make sure. I'll go back and forth with the decks, playing like 4 or 5 songs, make sure everything's good, and then 12:30 he's right behind me ready to go. So
you like announce his name and
I say a couple things before Pauly comes out just to make sure the mic is loud enough. It's kind of like my tester. I'm always hyping everybody up.
Yeah, that's great.
And then then I announce them. We have like an intro and stuff. So
have you ever had a really shitty experience with problems with the technology or equipment?
Yeah. There are certain situations where flight troubles, if there's like delays and so normally we fly early to get to the next city on time, just in case there's any delays. One of the times we were delayed so late, we couldn't do sound check. So we literally got to the hotel. I think we were in Vancouver, and it was a breast cancer event, I think.
Okay.
That Pauly was doing. And I had to go right from the airport to the hotel, right to the nightclub. And I think he had to be on in like 15 minutes once I got there. And I get there, and his rider is not there at all. Like, it's this completely different setup. And I'm like, like I said, we always have these conversations with the clubs. I always have a conversation with them days before to make sure everything's going to be there, and it wasn't. So I said to the opening DJ while he's playing, he was playing on one CDJ and an S9. Sure, fine, but that's not what he uses, And I said to him, I was like, was this stuff here when you got here for sound check? He's like, yeah. Or no, he's like, no, it wasn't. I was like, well, so what happened to the mixer? He goes, oh, I just swapped it out. He's like, there's an extra USB port, just plug into that. I'm like, you don't know how this works. Like I got mad.
That's kind of ignorant. I feel.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty. Pauly's very positive person. We don't ever get angry at anybody.
Right.
We're always like super nice to people. But I was pissed. I was like, you know what? We had all day of travel. I was like, now I walk into this mess. I was angry. But so I had him literally stop the music in front of everyone and switch everything out.
Were people like screaming shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I walked away. I was like, I'm not going to be front and center while you do this.
Oh, you made him switch it out?
Oh, yeah. They had to. They have to.
Right. Yeah.
And now you're cutting into our set time, too, because it's going to take 10 minutes, So it was a little awkward moment. But, yeah, those things happen. Some certain CDJs aren't there, or the mixer is kind of like broke. Like these are things that happen at sound check that I check on. And then once I get there at night, it's a little bit different than, what's the point of me doing sound check if things are going to be different when I get there?
Yeah.
And that's my job to kind of make sure that doesn't happen, So Angry Nine comes out sometimes.
I just kind of like, I just like the past 6 months started really using CDJs like a lot. Because Pace has them, and I've been DJing there a lot. And I feel like Pace's, there's not many places in Philly that have openers and then the headliner.
It never used to be a thing. It's if you play 10 to 2, they book one DJ.
Yeah, that's what it usually was.
You play fucking 10 to 2. It's the power of DJs booking openers and stuff. I always thought it was strange. I never did it growing up because you get paid one flat rate to play 10 to 2, and I don't feel like paying anybody else to DJ.
Yeah,
I kind of want all the money. But if DJs want to come in and work for free because they want to step up their like networking,
right, yeah,
that's fine.
Which I have learned is one of the biggest things to do in this industry. It's just constant networking.
Yeah, I mean, I still do it, but with the opening stuff. It's I always get anxious with that. That's why I never did it. When it's my own night and I'm on the flyer and I have somebody coming in that said, "Oh, Nine, I'll open up for you for like an hour and a half. You don't have to pay me anything." I'd really want to get my name out there, and I'm like, all right. I'm a little nervous about that stuff.
Yeah, because if it's a packed crowd right away, and
exactly, and maybe somebody higher up doesn't know that he's going to be there. And it's like. Nine, where the hell you at? Like, why is this guy playing? I like doing my own nights. I like doing the full night.
I am too. I like learning to DJ like in Philly and starting out here. it's you kind of like have like your opening set for yourself already, and
Yeah,
you know, like
what's-
what you want to play and get out the way at first.
Yeah, I like setting myself up. I like opening up for myself. You know, there's been obviously a million times where I was like the headliner somewhere, and it actually just happened recently. I played Noto when I came home. It was a Saturday night. I was like, this is going to be fucking awesome. You know, my set was 12:30 to 2 a.m. And I'm used to playing 10 to 2 in Philly,
Yeah,
you know, like
yep.
being at Wicked Wolf or whatever. And it was like 11:45, and I'm like home, and I'm like, I just want to, like, this is weird. It being almost midnight, I'm not
Yeah.
even out of my house yet, and I'm playing in Philly. It was super strange to me. So he takes me into the green room. I'm listening to the DJ, and it's like 11. It's like probably midnight now. I'm like, I just want to start. I just want to play 2 hours. Like, I'm used to playing 4. I want to, you know. So I go out there, and the guy that kind of like you're your talent lead, he's like, dude, just let the DJ play till 12:30. I'm like, damn. So I'm just like sitting there, and then like I said, like when I start at 12:30, I just don't want to go right into Lil Uzi. I just want to rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I kind of want to ease shit in, but at this point, it's already at 12:30. How much longer am I?
gotta get
Yeah,
into
I gotta
the
fucking
bangers,
dive
yeah.
right in, and it's super strange. Like mentally, I'm just like I like to ease into it. Crawl before you walk.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I get like really anxious when I'm like waiting to go on if there's like somebody opening up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just wanted to go. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
You're used to just showing up and you get going for 4 hours.
And even with working with Pauly, it's like they're his nights. So for me to be in the nightclubs and stuff and like doing like the 15 minutes and stuff, making sure everything's good for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we're in Vegas, like especially when we're in Vegas, the sets aren't until 1 a.m. That's when he starts DJing.
Wow.
So I'm literally upstairs in the hotel room at 12:30, just still waiting for the night to start, you know. And then it's 3 hours back, so I already mentally know that it's 3 a.m. at home, 4 a.m. in the morning. It's super strange. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even like really factor that in, the time changes too.
it messes
when you're
me up,
traveling.
man.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, but yeah, when bars close here, it's only 11 p.m. over there. You know,
Where did Pauly play on New Year's?
where were we? Oh, Vegas,
Was that
Marquee.
completely different than like regular Pauly gig or kind of the
No,
same?
we're at Marquee so much. We're
Okay.
there like almost twice a month. So it was maybe just a little bit more crowded, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like Premiere or any of the nightclubs in Atlantic
Right.
City where it can only get so packed.
I went out there once and I was there for like 2 days. I didn't even make it out at nighttime.
No, so that's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
when-
I feel like you have to pick one.
no, yeah, when you go out in the summertime out there, especially, it's all about the day partying. You know,
Okay.
it's like the day clubs out there are like top notch.
Yeah.
I went to the MGM at what was,
Hakkasan?
no.
Oh no, the pool party out there. Which one is that in Hakkasan? Is that Wet?
It might have been wet.
It might have been Wet Republic. I think that's an
And I
MGM.
walk in and Martin Garrix is there. I'm obliterated.
So crazy, right?
Put on my story.
It's
Not
cool.
even typing Martin Garrix, right? Don't remember Martin Garrix, but I was there. He was there.
Yeah, that's what's cool about being out there. You can literally just go to a day party and like
Right.
Fisher's DJing or like Tiesto.
Yeah, that
you
was
know?
pretty cool. Like walking around the streets too. Like you hear them, and I'm like, wait, this
So
kind of
cool.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's all about the day partying. Like going out at night, it's like if you can make it out at night after day drinking, like cool. But it's not that big of a deal if you miss it. You know?
Yeah,
I
that
want to
makes
get the
sense,
tan out there. Like
Well, that's
I
the
need
thing.
to
The
go back.
nightclub stuff you could do at home. You
Yeah.
know, you don't need to go to a Vegas nightclub. You
Right.
know, I mean, you can when you're out there, but it's all about the day partying. You don't see day parties like that around here like you do out there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go to like HQ Beach Club to get something, something similar. But yeah,
Do you have a specific city that you like going to the most? Or club?
I love San Diego. That's why I keep mentioning it. In
That
my head.
place
When
is
I
I
when I
love
use it as
California. I went from
Yeah.
Vegas to California, and that was my first time at both.
oh really?
I didn't stop in San Diego. I was mainly like in the LA area. But it was
It's just so
amazing.
beautiful out there.
Yeah, I think it's the
you
nicest
know?
city I've ever
It's
been in.
chill,
Mhm.
Like
like the
everybody's vibes. and,
yeah,
like,
yeah. We went to Paulie's birthday was July. We did a San Diego show, and then we stayed an extra day to celebrate his birthday. So we went out of San Diego, like 30-minute drive to La Jolla. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I heard
That's
that.
where I stayed at. Yeah, when
My
I did go.
So you've been. It's
Yeah.
fucking gorgeous out there.
Oh
I was
my
out there with
gosh.
Ray and obviously Paulie and all, and I'm looking around. I'm like,
Yeah.
I could live here forever. And no wonder why he wanted to go there to celebrate his birthday. It's gorgeous out there.
Yeah.
When I came back, I was contemplating my life. I was like, I'm
real.
moving out here. I literally broke out my
Every time I
boyfriend and
travel
everything.
somewhere, I'm like, I gotta move out here.
It's like
Yeah.
another world, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But California was amazing.
Yeah, I love San Diego. Where else do I like going down to Miami's always fun because, I mean, you're out there, it's like a straight party vibe all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, you go, like I said, when we get in our rhythms with traveling to and from, it's like Sometimes going down there just like another day to kind of get the show over with and leave. But Miami's always nice.
Do you enjoy playing kind of a more EDM set or open format? EDM?
Yeah. I mean, I'm always going to love that shit. When EDM really popped off in 2014, it was like, or 13, when it like, you could really play it in a nightclub. I love that shit. Like, I remember going to like, hearing like Chucky and like Laidback Luke, Afrojack, like going to those parties and hearing them DJ, it's like the fucking energy level was just crazy. I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want that to happen. And then like when hip hop got really popular again in like 2015, 16, 17, like the Mo Bamba era, Migos got really popular. When that became like staple club songs in like open format places where you would hear everything, it kind of got really like lax for me, and like the energy level was just like off, you know? When people wanted to hear that stuff, I'm like, this is your hype shit that you want to like go nuts to? I'm like,
I feel that.
So I kind of always wanted to keep the up-tempo stuff going all the time. Like I never stopped playing Clarity, Titanium, Levels.
They can never get old.
They're timeless. And I stopped hearing a lot of DJs play that stuff. You know, you never heard it in like the Vespers, the Downs, you know, not to like pinpoint places, but like it's true. Everything was so hip hop driven that no DJs were pushing the older stuff still. Everything didn't have to be so current. It's okay to take it back a little bit. It's okay to play songs 10 years ago.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of my sets, dude, revolve around like 2010 sing-alongs.
I feel like that music era is what gets me like the most excited. Like the other day when it was nice out, I immediately like was playing like Clarity and stuff because it just like makes me like so much happier. And then when you hear it, you just get.
It's great it's great to hear you say that, because I think that era is coming back again because dance music is evolving around again. You know, like with the John Summits and Fisher with the tech stuff. You know, that I always say, people always know that music kind of revolves in 5 years, the 5 year cycle. Like when was 5 years ago? It was still the EDM era, kind of, right? 5-6 years ago, and then it became the hip hop era a little bit in the bars and clubs. Now it's dance music again. It's every 5 years. It just changes.
That's funny.
It's crazy, right?
I didn't experience the change yet, like as a DJ.
Right. Oh, yeah, I've seen it a couple times. Because if you would have asked me in 2009 how many house songs I had, you would have fucking laughed at me. You know, it was like David Guetta, Love Is Gone, and like Cascada, Every Time We Touch. That was it. You know, maybe a Bob Sinclair song, but like, what the fuck?
House music right now is like huge on TikTok and everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of TikTok too. It's bringing old songs. It brought back Gimme Gimme. It's TikTok.
Yep.
You know, Dancing Queen. You know, that wasn't so much TikTok. That's like a sorority girl song.
I like that.
It is.
I typically listen to like that kind of music in general, and now it's like coming to think
South
of
Philly's the oldies are always, you know, a South Philly thing. I feel like
it's a good time to be a DJ right now, especially like in the Philly markets, especially since we're around here. It's all the old stuff, like I said, is coming back. It's not weird to do a Katy Perry set, Kelly Clarkson set.
Right.
You know, it's not. Those are all sing-alongs. Everyone's very receptive to it these days. It's good.
I play Before He Cheats, like every one of my gigs. I just cut the music. And they're screaming. I love it. Yeah,
and of course, if you have like a fun remix of it or something, you know, to kind of keep it upbeat, that's also.
I feel my veins coming out when I sing that song.
Oh my god, the girls scream that.
Did you play that the other night, or was that?
No, so
maybe that was.
I was in my Taylor Swift bag pretty heavy a little bit.
Maybe that was last week. I was screaming that song.
I'm a big love story. Yeah, I'm a big love story guy.
That's another one.
My brother Angelo the Kid has a good remix of that. What else has been really fun? What have I been doing new that's old but like resurgence?
Bringing it back.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm a big YMCA guy. You heard that on Saturday.
I always play that.
I'm a big YMCA
Gin and Sonic
guy.
remix is really good. Yeah.
I like the Frank Sinatra remix with New York
Empire
and
State of
Empire
Mind.
State,
I don't play that in Philly.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I used to play that at school a lot because all the North
They
Jersey
should make
kids.
more Frank Sinatra remixes. Like
Noted.
Yeah.
DJs, listen
that
up.
would really like go off.
Hell yeah. No, it's cool to bring the old shit back. It's making DJing fun again, for sure. I was just talking to Sat One about this. You know, he's older than me, so he's seen the cycles from decades. You know, he's like, I'm enjoying DJing again because he can like bring it back a little bit. And when you can go back to playing the older stuff, all that shit is embedded in your head, so you already know what you're gonna do. It's like
it
makes sense.
Stuff,
it's like
it really just makes
it's so nice to hear younger people say that, younger than me.
Well, for us,
I think
like,
I said it Saturday night. I'm like, I love that he's here right now.
And we grew up like on this
having
music.
a rough day.
We're playing like 2008, 9, 10 bangers. Like that's like stuff we heard on the radio.
Sure.
That was like brand new.
Yeah.
So hearing that now that we're 21, 22 going out, it's like, oh shit, I remember this. Like,
it's all about the DJ though. DJ fucking matters, man. There could have been a DJ there on Saturday that wasn't doing any of that shit. And he could have been playing for himself and like playing on, you have to really care about the venue too. You have to like, I always do my research when I place anywhere else. I always like try to find the DJ who's there. I'm like, what are you guys playing? I don't want to go in there like an idiot. I'm a people pleaser. I'm not going to go in there and be fucking DJ 9. DJ 9 is the crowd pleaser. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to go there and try to figure it out before, as I'm doing it,
Yeah, I closed for Matoma at Lavo in NYC.
Oh, dope.
That was my favorite gig.
Oh, was it?
Because it was packed for him, and he is very like EDM-y and housey. So I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But like and he was cool too, super cool. He like dabbed me up and he said, "What's your name?" I said, "DJ NEEK." And he got on the mic. Oh, give it up for DJ NEEK.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was a really cool moment. Lavo was fun. I liked it there. You do there.
Yeah, we're there. Yeah, we're there
yeah.
often. Yeah, he does Lavo and Marquee in New York.
Yeah.
Lavo's a shit. We were there for Halloween.
Oh, really?
On Halloween night. That shit was crazy.
I feel like there's something about EDM music, that kind of music. When you have a big crowd that's all into it, when that shit drops, it's just it's crazy.
It's just, it's good. I mean, I think there's a time and place to drop like the real heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Like if there's 15 people at Wicked Wolf, I'm not going to be doing, anything too outlandish. When the timing is right, there's like no other. I mean,
did you play What's Up the other night?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs. That just like clicked in my head.
4 Non-Blondes?
Yeah.
I don't mean to gas you up, but I really was enjoying
Do you play that?
the other night.
Bring that back, bro.
I love
Bring
that
that back.
You have like a good remix to it or something?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
We'll have to
You know what song we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I literally
What's going on?
I love that song.
about to break the vein in my neck.
You know the guys, my boys Olive Oil from North Jersey?
Yeah.
I use their remix.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah, theirs is good. There might be a few out there, but, I use theirs. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that song's great.
I wish there was more music like that coming back too. Like,
I don't think anyone in Philadelphia is playing that song with me.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
I think I'm
that
the
made me
only
so
idiot.
happy.
It's a good song
idiot.
though.
Yeah.
Even like the 80s, 90s like rock, that stuff's awesome.
Yeah,
They
I
have great
bust out.
verses,
I play Pour Some Sugar on Me, bro. Like
yeah.
I play,
Living on a Prayer. Always.
Yeah, I played that Saturday.
I have your bootleg of that.
Into the Hum.
That always hits. Always.
Yeah, I'm always drop. I played, I think, AC/DC, Shook Me All Night Long. I had a little Jesse's Girl I played on
Jesse's
Saturday.
Girl, yeah. Did you ever tap into like producing side of this?
Everyone asks me that. Should I? Yes. Do I? No. I do the bootlegs and remixes stuff, but originals over the pandemic, I put out a song, try to do the whole Spotify thing and like push for it. What turned into what I wanted to do, like a house track, turned into a hip hop track with a little Latin flavor to it. It was like super weird how it came about, but it was a weird time to put out music then. But I had all the free time, so I wanted to learn it. But it was so weird. Like, how many songs did we hear in 2020 that we couldn't even think of right now that just kind of like went away?
Yeah, that makes
Remember
sense.
that song "Bored in the House"? And in the house, bored, like shit like that. Like Tyga was on that,
Right, yeah.
Or Savage, Megan Thee Stallion, like that was that was a we don't play.
Song.
I haven't played that song probably since it fucking came out.
I think people are like, I love Megan Thee Stallion. Don't get me wrong,
Sure.
but like, I think a lot of people are like over hearing that because that's all we heard inside.
Yeah, but I tried, and it was like it's all the pressure of trying to push it out, and like I never wanted to force people to like it. If it goes off, it goes off. You know what I mean? It'll do it on its own. Never used to be a thing for a DJ to become popular by having his own music. It wasn't a standard.
Yeah, right.
Now it seems like it is. And it's great. Because it's like DJs are the new rock stars, but haven't done it. Haven't tapped into that yet.
I didn't realize who made Animals? Martin Garrix, right? Yeah. He was like
Her boy.
He was like 15. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, he was like 15 or 16. Yeah.
It's crazy, and that's like I think that's the first like hardcore song that I was like,
sure.
That's not even that crazy, but
it was that transcended like literally like if there was anybody else before him, it was just like like Avicii in terms of like levels being such a big hit. Because the Tiestos are always the Tiestos. They're timeless people.
Right.
But
yeah, there's a lot of songs that have like famous singers or rappers on them. You don't even realize this DJ produced this and made this beat, wrote these lyrics.
No, I kind of feel like fell off Marshmello. I don't feel like I hear him on anything.
You're right.
Recently, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like I used to see him all over the place.
Yeah, he does like all these like crazy residencies for like X amount of dollars, and just like the Vegas residencies and stuff. But yeah, you don't really see you don't hear his music really that much. I never really.
He was like on a lot of people's music, and I don't see him at all.
I didn't really care too much for his style of like I don't know like his drops like this happiness.
Yeah,
like
it's different.
I think the latest like notable song, Happier.
Happier, yeah, that was the biggest one.
Yeah, you know that one.
I want you to.
Oh, I like that song.
Yeah.
Very Chainsmoker, Closer.
Yeah. Guys like Marshmello are funny with the.
He's from Philly, right?
Is he? Yeah. I did not know that at all. I always think with those guys with those crazy identities, they start out just DJing like how me and you are like using like.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know his upbringing.
And then how did they transition into that? And maybe that's more of the producer side of it. Like maybe like when he like released a song, he released it as Marshmello.
Yeah, look at A-Craze would Do It To It when that came out.
Yeah.
I mean, he had one. I think he had songs out before that, but that was like obviously his big song. Mm-hmm. Then he's doing all the festivals. He's playing everywhere. It takes a song to really fucking blow up. Look at John Summit, for Christ's sake. Yeah. He was an accountant. He's from Chicago. Went to college to study business. Was an account. I think he was like, forget what. I think I saw him on a podcast talking about. I'm not sure if he was a full blown accountant or like he was starting to intern, whatever he was doing, and then he started, I guess, producing for fun or whatever, and then boom, holy shit, he's fucking everywhere now.
That's nuts. Yeah, I mean the beauty of social media now is. Sure. Anybody could, make something and
never
blow
know,
up from
dude.
it. It's crazy.
Anybody can be that guy.
Especially with TikTok. Like TikTok is built so that you're scrolling through a feed of the For You page. It's random.
It's all about the quick punch, the quick clips, and that's where how people's brains are working now. How quick TikTok is.
Like that song with the guy with what was that, cranberry juice or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you never know. That's all. But yeah, with that, like even for your podcast, like put the reels out. You got to do the quick clips. Everybody wants to see the quick clips. Everyone's attention span is fucking
even when
minuscule.
I'm on TikTok, I don't really even want to watch a 3-minute video.
See,
unless I'm really interested, where you're coming off hot.
Imagine
you really
that.
Need to know the psychology behind like bringing a person.
Yep. Imagine that as DJs too, with people wanting everything so quick. Like you only want to hear 30 seconds of a song. Now get the fuck out of it. We want the next one.
Yep.
All right, we like the song. All right, what else you got? Play it next.
That's
play another one. It's crazy.
It all comes down to
Netflix.
It literally does.
You're right.
People's attention spans are so short now. But luckily, I've always been a quick mixer, maybe a little too fast. So that never really was a huge issue for me. With like people being like, "Yo, you're playing the song too long."
Yeah, it's a little different with rap. I feel like when you have like multiple rappers on, like somebody wants to hear this guy's verse, and then you cut it out, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Well, yeah, it's your job to know what predominantly.
Yeah, what's popular.
Yeah, which is the popular verse.
Like Sicko Mode. I have your Sicko Mode Mobamba one.
Oh hell yeah!
That one's that always hits. But I skip right to Drake's part when it dropped.
I've been doing that too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also not a big Travis Scott fan, so.
Yeah, for outside reasons, probably, right?
Yeah, he's really douchey, man.
Yeah, he is.
He just doesn't do the right things. I'm not saying everybody needs to do,
Right, yeah. I mean, all that stuff, like with his concert the one time, it kind of stemmed
from that was bizarre. I forgot about that.
Dude, you see the fucking, how, like him going nuts on other DJs when he shows up? He smashed one dude's laptop.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck do you think you are, man?
I know.
Like,
that's crazy.
Stupid shit like that.
Yeah, so when you compare celebrities like him and then you compare him like with Pauly, it's like crazy, like the difference. And I guess they're different kinds because Pauly's a DJ and he's.
I mean, everyone's human too,
Yeah.
It's being
at the end of the day,
being a decent fucking person.
Some people just let it get to them and get a big head. Mm-hmm. A lot of people.
Facts, big facts.
Who were kind of your like inspirations? Like
was honestly at Rutgers, I loved hearing Spin Bad on Z100 or where, I forget what he was on. I'd be like in my car going to class or something, and I always loved the live mixing on the radio. Like what you guys would hear on Wired on the weekends. He would do that at like 7 p.m. and he would like his cutting and scratching and still implementing like Rihanna in like 2008. Like Please Don't Stop the Music and all that shit. Right. The way he would manipulate it, I'm like, that shit's dope as fuck. So like can we curse on here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I've been cursing a lot.
I cursed a few times.
Okay. Him, but like with the nightclub stuff, to hear like really good DJs, you had to always go down Atlantic City. Okay. So that's where like all like the guys around the country, around the world would fly in and play there. So Murmur Mondays was a huge night where you would hear like an AM or somebody from Vegas or something, and these guys would come in and just crush shit. And I would just like kind of take notes, yada yada, you know.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, you know, I play like this, but they're just much better than me. So all those guys really.
Was that
AM
kind
was
of before
huge.
like pre-recorded mixes were like a thing like on the radio and stuff like that, or they were kind of just doing it live?
I think it was mostly live. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was mostly live.
There's
so.
just one guy I always hear on the radio. It's like Goofy White Boy or
Goofy White Kid.
well, Goofy White Kid. Okay, yeah.
He's syndicated, so he's on Q102. But his same mixes get played throughout a lot of stations.
Gotcha.
In the country. Yeah, which is considered syndication.
Okay.
You know, your same mix can get played in other
That makes sense.
stations around the country. Yeah.
They used to do sometimes they would from like the club, right? They would play like
I miss that shit.
right?
I miss that. Yeah, like Wire 965 would be like live from the Woodbine and like
That's
down
awesome.
I
in
feel like I
Jersey.
remember them being at like the Roxy, like when I was listening to the thing. Yeah,
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yep, that was awesome. They don't. I mean, clubs don't really hire radio stations anymore to come in to like pretty much promote their night. You know, it's just not. It's never really a thing, which sucks. That was always awesome. You know, but radio's not like a one-stop shop anymore. It's not so popular anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
It's
people
weird.
could just go on their phone.
it's
and look
weird
up
being
whatever.
on the radio. Songs already blow up before radio even like starts playing it. You know, like look how big John Summit is where you are. That song.
Yeah.
Radio hasn't even put that in rotation. It's not considered, you know, it's not even in the same vein. But like that song is
and before
gigantic.
I used to find out from the radio of the songs.
right.
And like, dude, I didn't notice that, but you.
Especially us as
You're
DJs.
totally right.
Exactly. Especially us as DJs. Like I think when I'm trying to think of a song. Do you remember Roses? Obviously,
Outkast?
St. John.
Yeah.
No,
St. John.
yeah,
Yes,
from like
yes,
what
yes.
2-3 years ago or whatever. But we were playing the remix that everyone knows, the I'm Back remix. I'm back.
Okay.
But like we were playing that before the radio was like, "Yo, put this in rotation," and we're like, "Well, we've been playing it for 3 months,
Yeah,
4 months
yeah.
already." You know, it's just certain things like that. It's just
Yeah, and the radios just play the same mainstream over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, people will argue that radio's dead, and you know, there's some truth to that. But when in doubt, your radio's always going to be in your car, and there's always
Yeah,
going to be a place for
very
it. You
true.
know,
I still like listen to it. Sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like playing anything. Let me see what's on the radio. And there has been times I'm like, I've heard this song already a million times, and
Yeah.
there's other times I'm like, oh, I haven't heard this in a while.
right? It
Happy
is
I turned
tough
it on.
though, because the way what we were saying earlier, the way our fucking brains work with like wanting things so fast,
Right.
you could just go right onto your Spotify that fast, and if you don't like the song, boom, you hit next. Radio, you can't do that. You got to sit through it all, you know.
Yeah.
And who's doing that anymore?
And that's
That's the
why it's
tough part.
cool, like when they do Q102, like does the mixes,
mixes,
like, with
yeah.
you guys and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely changes it up a lot. So
100%.
yeah, it's weird now. Radio used to be like, I've always wanted to strive to be on radio. You thought like that was like the next elevation,
Right,
you know.
yeah.
But like it's just it lost its uniqueness. Isn't it crazy though?
Yeah.
That, like I said, like radio will never probably get out of your car. It'll always be there as an outlet. But like CD players aren't in cars anymore.
Yeah, that
you
is
know?
I didn't even
They're
think
not
about
they're
that.
not in laptops anymore. You
Right,
know what I mean?
yeah.
It's crazy.
You
like
got to buy a whole separate thing.
yeah, like so is radio going to get completely wiped out? It's only like
I don't even know where to put my CDs in. I didn't even think about that. I've, like how I have like movies on CDs and like,
yeah.
Have you ever played
Yeah.
with actual like CDs? Like,
No,
or
I jumped from I think I did like 2 parties that was just strictly vinyl. I had like 2 crates. It was all the party stuff.
Yeah.
2005, 2006 era. And then went right to Serato. I just jumped ship. I didn't do anything in between, no CD books or anything like
Right,
that.
right,
No, because like I said, I started in 05, so Serato was out for a year. So I literally went into like Guitar Center and I was like, I know what I want to play on, but like here's what I have.
Right.
What can you do? And the first thing he said was just get Serato. Like whatever piece of equipment you use first, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you're on Serato first. Yeah.
What's the funniest, craziest? I'm gonna ask everybody this: funniest, craziest gig moment you ever had in DJing overall?
Pauly shows are always like crazy. You always see like the, you know, what they say on their phones. You know, the messages to him and stuff. You're like, is your mom watching this? Your mom know what you're saying right now?
Yeah, I feel like after a while too, it all kind of just mixes together.
Every-
Even for me, like probably
Yeah.
gigs I did 6 months ago. I'm like, like did that happen that night or?
Yeah, that's
Then you
I'm
yeah.
get
sort
like
of with
random
you.
triggers, and you're like, wait, I
Yeah.
remember that happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
that's crazy.
Yeah, sometimes people gotta mostly remind me. Like, yo, do you remember when this happened? I'm like, holy
Like, oh,
shit,
yeah, I
you're
do
right.
remember that.
Yeah,
Right.
like, nah,
Right.
DJing, you see everything, dude. You can, if you think about it, if you think what a DJ can experience and see, you've seen it. It's all.
And do you have any final tips for somebody like me that's really trying to start off their career in DJing, in nightlife in general?
Yeah, I think you're doing all right, right?
Trying.
Yeah, it's just don't stop. Just don't fall complacent. Even if you're booked Friday, Saturday for the entire month, figure out how you can get booked Thursdays too. Be around the right people. Be around positive energy. Be around people that can be around people that can help you. You are who you surround yourself with. I've learned that. 5 people in a room that have positive energy. If that one person in the room has negative energy, that just sprouts out throughout the entire room.
Right.
You really got to start trimming the fat with that. I'm learning that as a 37-year-old DJ now. But be consistent. If you really like DJing, you can go a long fucking way. I've been doing it for 17 years now. There's no end game, and there doesn't need to be one, but you have to be consistent. And it's nice to be at home and relax, obviously, sometimes, but be out and about too.
Right.
Out of sight, out of mind is something I still fear. That's why with working with Pauly, I still want to do my Philly gigs too. I still want to be home and be in people's faces, because when Pauly stops DJing, what am I going to do? So I'm still trying to be outside and, let people see me.
Yeah.
There's times where I'm gone 4 nights a week with him and I'm like, remember me, guys? That's why my Sunday fun days, I'm outside, I'm going to Wicked Wolf, I'm going to Barstool. I want them to see me, it's sad but true, but we're replaceable. So make sure that you're wanted. Be nice. Don't be a dick,
Yeah.
There's a lot of good DJs in the area that, don't know how to carry themselves in, public, and people would rather have a nice guy in their venue DJing for them than an asshole. Don't be a dick.
Have fun. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. It's challenging, anyone and everyone can, DJ. And I think now is the easiest time ever to get put on than it was back in my MySpace days.
Yeah.
It was challenging then, you had to really be a good fucking DJ to get put on. Somebody like Frank in the building here will tell you, I think it's just easier now to get, not just say crawl out of your bed and start working, but it's easier now. Just show face at the places that you want to DJ at. It may not happen overnight, but you might get that chance. It's happened to me. I've gone to places multiple times and they're like, okay, we'll put you on. All right, cool. You create your own destiny, which is cool about DJing. You don't want to do it, you don't have to. But if you want it, it'll happen eventually.
Right. Yeah. And that's why you'd start this podcast for big reason, just to get advice from guys like you.
Yeah.
Doing this for a while, and I think it's really going to help even in networking aspect. Building relationships.
Yeah, sure.
And just seeing different sides of nightlife.
I know with DJing, if you're booked, it's great, but it also keeps you away from being at places that you kind of want to excel to. You can't necessarily be at that favorite bar that you want to DJ at because you're already DJing.
Right.
That's the tough part, but do it long enough, be consistent, those places will find you too, and be a good DJ, care about it, don't just get by being like, that was fun, I made a couple $100, it's they can go away just as fast as you got it too,
right.
Yeah.
Well, Nine, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. You're welcome. Episode 2, right?
Episode 2.
Hell
yeah. Episode 2 of many.
Good.
We're still getting through some of the rough patches, and we're getting through it, but I think the studio looks good. Worked really hard on it.
I don't mind being the guinea pig.
And whoever is watching or listening now, thank you guys so much. We appreciate the support. I think we already had a few hundred, views and plays with the first episode that we released 5 days ago. So it's awesome. And on Instagram, we have 2,000 views on the video we just posted, which is great. So we're just going to keep going and doing this shit and learning about beyond the party and what goes into nightlife. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.
Toodles.